Hey friends, Shay here. So this is the second time I'm filming this video because the first time I filmed it, my microphone was not turned on. Welcome to 2024, y'all. So in this video, we are going to be focusing on my goals for the year of 2024. When it comes to 2023, it wasn't a bad year. It was a very depressed and anxious year, but it wasn't necessarily bad. I feel like my reading was pretty good. I did some things that pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and my Read What You Own worked well early in the year, but not so much later in the year. So we're going to kind of reformat my goals here, and we are going to strive to succeed in lowering my TBRs. So with that said, let's set up goals for 2024. Well, technically speaking, I've already set them up. But we are going to start with my Read What You Own goals. So Read What You Own is a reading challenge that I host with my friend Izzy over at Happy for Now, where the goal is to focus more on the physical books that you already own and you've already purchased rather than the new shinies. I have a couple of goals to help me set this up long term, not necessarily related to Read What You Own, but related to Read What You Own. So I have some goals set up in my journals. If you are unfamiliar, I did start a journal and planner channel in the year of 2023. It's called Shay Plans It All. So all of my reading journal setups, my manga journal, and anything in my catch-all planners and my work planners are going to be focused on that channel rather than this one. I know not everybody here loves planner content, so I didn't necessarily want to force it on all of you. So I have separated it out. There will be about one video a week over there. If I feel like doing more, I'll do more. And then other than that, I'll be over here on this channel, hopefully 3 times a week still. So Read What You Own goals. Let's actually start those. So the first goal I have is a spending limit. So every month my spending limit is $200. That is for manga and books. So that is going to be a very strict budget for me on my spending on books, because if y'all knew how much I actually spend like in a week even, because of my pretty Barnes & Noble discount, you would be shocked. So this is a very reasonable limit. It'll let me buy a few things even as I'm trying to read down what I physically own. I'll revisit this goal throughout the year, because if it ends up being that I've read most of what I physically own, I might up my budget a little bit. But for now, $200 a month is a very generous goal. So manga-wise, I want to finish 10 manga series. I have a few where I'm very close to finishing, and some others where I do own the end, I just haven't gotten there yet. Like Something's Wrong with Us. I still have not read the end of that, but that will be swiftly fixed, hopefully soon. The next one is to read volume 1 before I buy it. So I'm going to do this by utilizing libraries, sitting at the bookstore and reading volume 1s before I purchase them, things like that. Trying to not add new series to my TBR unless I am genuinely excited and interested in that. So I'm hoping NetGalley will be kind and start approving me for more volume 1s so I can start trying things more for y'all. So the next one is to read to keep current as much as possible. So not buying more than 1 or 2 volumes in a series. And then once I've read the recent volume, if there's more out, I can purchase that and not feel guilty, because there are several series where I'm sitting on 4 or 5 volumes of them. So I'm going to try to prioritize getting those read down first so that I can try to keep current as best I can. So I won't be doing any big series purchases, kind of like I have. Like this year, I caught up on a lot of Skip Beat. I found a lot of the 3-in-1s on sale, so I ended up buying a bunch of them at a time, and I still haven't sat and read most of the ones that I purchased. So that's the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid here with this goal. So that is it for my manga goals. I haven't done the number on my physical owned yet, and we'll talk more about that in my like January reset, because I should have those numbers by then. I just haven't had a minute to sit down and do the numbers yet. Moving on to the reading, just regular reading, Read What You Own goals, and then we'll go to the regular goals. So the system I want to set up is a 5 out, 1 in system. So 5 books from my unread TBR allows me 1 to bring in. because especially physically, that's a big thing I want to focus on, because I have a lot of unread physicals that I don't know how much I'm genuinely still interested in. So I did recently do a clear out. You can check out that video if you're interested in that. But I genuinely have a lot of unread books that I don't know how interested I am in anymore. So that's why I want to adopt this system, so I'm not sitting on books for too long. And then the next goal is to read before I buy as much as possible, utilizing things like Libro.fm, ARCs, NetGalley, libraries, things like that. So anything new, I'm going to try to do through the libraries or NetGalley or Libro.fm. I am part of the Libro.fm Influencer ARC program. So Libro.fm as a company, if you're unaware, this is not sponsored by them, by the way. They're an amazing company that partners with indie bookstores. So you can select an indie bookstore to support with your money that you spend at Libro.fm. So I highly recommend using them as a service, as an alternative to something like Audible. Their library is very vast. Yes, they don't have the Audible exclusive content, but honestly, they are a fantastic service with a wide variety of books. So I do recommend checking them out. I will leave my referral link down below for you to check them out. So using things like Libro.fm and the library and such, I'm hoping to keep my physical TBR down. And then for my physical TBR, I want to get under 150 books. Right now I'm sitting at about 250. So that is 100 physical books I'm hoping to get rid of over the course of the next year. And if I'm focusing on what I owned, that shouldn't be an issue. And as long as I'm careful with what I bring in, that shouldn't be an issue. So when it comes to that $200 limit, that does include books that I've already read that I want to own physically. So if I think I'm going to reread it or annotate it and things like that, that's when I'll pick it up physically. But otherwise, I'm going to try to keep to more digital than physical. And I'm good with that right now because my library is super full. It's a problem. And then my ebook TBR, I would love to get under 500. I'm sitting at about somewhere between 640 and 650 last I looked. I'm probably to do one more go through before I get my final number to start the year with. But yeah, it's a big number, not as big as some people, but it's a big number, and I'd like that to go down. I would also like to get under 20 for my audio TBR. My audio TBR is much more manageable than it was previously. On Audible, I only have 7 or 8 that I haven't read yet that I've been sitting on. And then my Libro one is at like 43 right now. But I feel less guilty about the Libro one than I do the Audible one, because most of them are ARCs on Libro. So I'm still hoping to get that down though. I'd like to get closer to 20 on all of my audio. And then the $200 budget we already talked about. So let's go back to just my regular goals. So I do have a sub count goal. I'm not going to share that with you. That's a personal thing, for Shay Geeks Out and Shay Plans It All. Did I talk to you about Shay Plans It All? Yes, I did. So that channel's linked down below. If you're interested in my planner and journaling content, that's where it is. So I have this kind of project I'm taking on in the year of 2024, and I'm calling it 12 and 24. So the whole goal is, originally it was just going to be one list of 12 and 24, because my 23 and 23, I had about a 50% success rate. So I thought, oh, well, why don't I kind of just do 12 and 24? Well, I ended up with 5 lists of things for 12 and 24. I'm not going to share everything on the lists because I'd like it to be a surprise. But I have 12 books that I want to annotate in the year of 2024, 12 authors I want to try in the year of 2024. I've already done a video about that, so I'll leave that linked for you. I think it's this corner, actually. Then I have 12 series picked out for a try 3 situation. Unintentionally, try 3s went away in 2023, but it's a series I do enjoy doing. So those will be coming back in the year of 2024. I'm hoping to do one a month. And then I have my 12 that I own that I want to read. And then I have 12 from Kindle Unlimited that I'd like to read as well, that I don't currently have like checked out. So these lists may evolve throughout the year. I've considered adding another one for a specific video project, but right now it's 5 lists of 12 for the year of 24. There may be a 6th because apparently I'm crazy. Let's just talk about the rest of my reading goals for the year. So I would like to make sure I'm using my Kindle Unlimited subscription. So I'd like to read at least one Kindle Unlimited book a month. I don't think that's going to be an issue with the way I have some things set up. And Kindle Unlimited is where like a lot of my comfort authors like Regine Abel release their books. So I think I'll be utilizing that pretty well this in the year of 2024. I'd like to do 1 try 3 a month, which I mentioned. Another thing I want to do this year is get my quote unquote dream office setup done. My partner and I have been sharing an office since we moved into this house, and we had a room set aside for when we had children. But now that we know we aren't going to have children, I want to repurpose that room and make it a library for myself so that when I'm live streaming and things like that, I'm not necessarily disturbing my partner and what they want to do. And they have some projects that are a little noisier, and it allows them to do that without disturbing me when I'm doing things that I want a little more peace and quiet with. So very excited about that. I'll bring you along with me as I do that. The other thing I want to do is get my library fully organized. Right now it's a mess. I have a bunch of it on the floor, and I'm not happy with the way it's set up. It's not serving what I need right now. So that is going to be a big focus in 2024, is to get that library where I need it, where I want it. I'll cull things if I need to, things like that. The last 2 goals are kind of interconnected. So one is to DNF more. I feel like I did get better at this in 2023, but it's kind of a nebulous thing where if I'm not interested in a book or I'm not enjoying a book, I need to just put it down and be done with it and move on. Like, I just need to not dwell on things I don't want to finish. In doing that, that also brings in the last goal, which is to just read what I want to read and get rid of what I don't. So I don't have to read certain things. I'm going to be not necessarily buying every new shiny trendy book, and I'm okay with that. That's a lot of like waiting for the library to get things in. I don't necessarily want to be the channel with all the new shiny books. I'm okay with this. I want to focus on the backlist that I own, and I want to focus on my manga. That's kind of where I keep up with my new shiny and kind of get that stimulation, I guess you could say. And a lot of those I may convert to digital series as well. I haven't fully decided. So with that said, those are kind of my goals for the year of 2024. I am so excited that I brought y'all along with me. And thank you so much for all of your love and support in the year of 2023. If you're here just because you love me, leave me like a list emoji or like someone writing on a piece of paper emoji. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.